Welcome to Seat Time, everybody, the off-road show that brings you all the results, news, and online shenanigans that make being online a good time. We'd like to say thank you to Fly Racing for their support of Seat Time. Please go check them out at flyracing.com. Welcome to Seat Time, everybody. Brian Pierce, your host here for this fine Tuesday evening in what is actually September. It's kind of crazy that we've made it this far already into 2014. So this will be episode 141 for those of you who are keeping track, or possibly if this is your first time catching any of Seat Time, you're at episode 141. There are 140 episodes before this one for you to go and check out, and we would love it if you would do that. So Seat Time, you can find us. Seattime.co is the website where we do archive all the shows, if that's what you're looking for. I'd love you to check those out. Of course, we are on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram. All of those are fairly easy to find. You go to said social network, type in the words Seat Space Time, and voila, it should come up. Again, if you're catching us live, you're probably either watching us on the site or on YouTube, so you've found us that way. If you're catching this after the fact, you can go to YouTube, subscribe to us there. That is where the live events happen, as they are right now. Or if you're audio only and enjoy podcast, you can catch Seat Time as a podcast, which is audio only, through Stitcher or iTunes. Of course, it is out there as an RSS feed if you'd like to just add it into any of your podcast-friendly apps or apps of greatness that you choose to listen to all of your audio on, I think is the way to say it. So it's going to be a fun evening tonight. We've got Thad Duvall on. I'm looking forward to chatting with him. One, he hasn't been on the show in a long time. Two, we just came back from a huge summer break with Unadilla, and he was second overall there, second in the XC1 class as well. And he made a big switch from his 250 to his 450, and it sounds like he did a lot of testing this summer on that bike, either A, getting ready for the ISDE, or B, maybe just because he said, hey, let's see if we could change up this 450 a little bit and make it a tad bit different and or better. I'm no scientist nor a mathematician, and God knows I can't ride a dirt bike very well, so that's why we Skype in great riders like we have our guest this evening, Mr. Thad Duvall, because we're going to get the real shit from him. So, Mr. Thad Duvall, I have to just start off by asking, how is your evening going, kind sir?
It's going good. It's already dark on the East Coast. Starting to turn into fall and starting to get a little chilly in the evening, so it's about prime riding weather, I guess. So, other than that, it's been a good evening.
Heck yeah. It's interesting. I have just started to realize that September, that means holy crap, even though it's kind of hot in Texas, it's not the heat that it's been. So it's going to start, we're going to start to see a little bit nicer temperatures. Like you said, great riding weather is going to be coming up. It's crazy to think that we're already in September and starting to think towards fall, isn't it?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's been a pretty quick year for me. I just kind of want to get this year over. It's not been the best of years. Had some problems in the earlier rounds, but hopefully we got everything figured out for the last 4 rounds and got 1 round down with a good finish. 3 more to go, and then off to 6 days. Nice.
Yeah, it sounds like you've got it planned out. Well, let's step back just a little bit, though, and talk about your summer break. As we mentioned, between West Virginia and Unadilla, there was a good couple months there for GNCC to take a break, maybe from the heat, maybe because MX Sports is focusing on motocross as it goes outdoors. There's all kinds of things that could be happening, but I'm sure, one, you guys look forward to the break, and 2, you guys get a lot of stuff done. So what was your summer break like for you?
For me, coming off a snowshoe was a pretty big disappointment for me. I had a really good ride going there, and that's kind of where my local home race I grew up, and I think a lot of people expect me to do good there, and I was doing great, and then just ran into a problem with the bike, and just kind of went down from hill from there. So coming off that race, I was pretty disappointed, and I told myself I was going to take a couple weeks off and have fun with friends and do what I wanted, and didn't really worry about racing. I don't even think I raced for probably 2 or 3 weeks. I didn't even touch a bike, and just kind of wanted to get my head straight and what I really wanted to do. And it was good because when I stepped back on the bike, I felt fresh and ready to go. And it was a busy summer for me. I have one kid here living with me. He races 4-stroke A lights, Brady Myers. I've been riding with him all summer, and it's been cool because he's he's as motivated as me to do well, and it's cool to wake up and have somebody to ride with and go out and have fun on jet skis and always have a competition with each other. And
Right.
it's funny because and then he's battling for the championship with another kid that I'm pretty good friends with. So it's like them two are always arguing about who's better, and the one gets pretty mad because the one's here living and training and stuff. And then I have two other boys that's been staying with me from. Brother has been riding with them a bunch, and it's cool to have somebody to always ride with and want to be better and better themselves. And it's great. I've been working really hard this summer, and it's fun and it's awesome to actually see the hard work pay off at Unadilla. I felt good coming off that race, and I felt like I could have won another couple laps pretty hard. And I wish there was one more lap. I'm not saying I could have ran Caleb down. He was riding good that whole race. I'm sure he let up on the last lap and stuff, but I had a lot more left in the tank, and it felt good. So coming off that race, I want to go into Somerset and be top 5, top 3. I need to be more consistent the last couple of races and stuff. So with that saying, it was busy. I did a lot of training, and then 6 days is always busy. Huge thanks to Morgantown Power Sports this year. Did our factory Honda deal through them guys, and they've been busting their butts all summer with me trying to get stuff ready for 6 days. They gave up a 450 for me to take over C's, so big thanks to them guys, and we've been getting that bike ready, and it's been good. It's been a busy summer and having a lot of fun still riding and racing and doing what I'm doing, I guess.
Yeah, right. Well, so talk a little bit more about the guys you said you have living with you. Do you kind of have your own little mini bunkhouse, kind of like Randy does over there in South Carolina?
No, I wish it did. With me racing and stuff, it would be kind of pointless to have my own house and stuff. I still live at home with mom and dad, and it's fun for me and him because I live in my bedroom that I pretty much have lived in the last couple of years when I was growing up in school and stuff, and then he's the bedroom right beside me, and it's cool for my parents to take him in, and I mean half the time it's just like they have another son, so it's cool that they give an opportunity for me to let people come over and stay, and it gets pretty packed in the summers, that's for sure. Like there was 5 of us here at one time, and we have 3 bedrooms. So, some of us were sleeping in the garage, which is like a kind of a man cave, and some of us were sleeping in here and stuff. But no, just a regular old house and just having fun.
Man, not enough bunk beds, or maybe too many snuggling nights. I don't know.
Hey, there's been some snuggle nights for sure between all of us.
Well, that's always fun to know. That's okay. So what about Lane Michaels? I know you were right. Yeah, don't take that the wrong way.
Yeah, no homo. But Lane. With Lane, he's on an injury right now, and he's pretty busy with his summer and taking care of some of his stuff. So haven't really rode that much with Lane. Just mostly the kids has been coming and staying here. Like I said, I've been pretty busy, so I haven't been able to really go anywhere and stay for a couple of days at a time and stuff. So it's been cool, and it's awesome. A local moto track actually just had opened up at the beginning of the summer, and became pretty good friends with the guys over at it's called the Club Willow Creek. That the James guy that owns the facility, he takes really good care of it, and got in pretty good tight with the guy, and pretty much whenever I want to come ride, he lets us come shred up the place. He waters it and discs it, and takes good care of it and preps it for us, and he's up at 7 o'clock in the mornings the day we want to come in, and so it's cool to have that local support of him letting us to come and train there and stuff. So it's cool. It's I love where I'm at right now, and I wouldn't change anything.
Nice. Well, tell me a little bit about what you guys did this summer with the 450, because reading around and listening to some of the post-interview type stuff after Unadilla, there was a lot of discussions that you had talking about how you really wanted to kind of get in and develop your 450 a little bit more and get a little bit more comfortable on it. And obviously that seemed to be the case, at Unadilla during that race. So what were some of the things that you guys did that made you more comfortable on your 450?
I can't tell you all the secrets.
Oh, you could, tie into some of them and call them fun mathematical or scientific things.
No, it's good. At the beginning of the year, actually starting last year, I started riding the 250 like halfway through the year and had some good breakout rides with it. And coming into this year, I thought maybe I could do a little bit better on the 250, and I had a couple really good rides on it. And then, I got elected to go to 6 days, and I didn't feel very comfortable on the 250 at 6 days last year. I didn't feel like I could show my real speed on the 250 because it's more moto-y and really fast, wide open stuff. So I felt like I was a little held back on the 250. And when Ani approached me this year and asked if I wanted to be on the trophy team and stuff, I said yeah. But I said I really wanted to ride a 450, and he said that's fine. So I got to ride the 450 at 6 days. So I come in the summer break. I kind of told myself, man, I kind of really want to ride the 450 after the break. So I said, let's sit down and do some stuff with it. And, PR2 suspension out of PA, they've been working with me this year, and they had a link and some suspension for me, and maybe have went from Air Forks to Spring Forks. Kind of
might have pulled a Trey Canard.
Yeah. But don't get me wrong, the Air Forks are great. I love the Air Forks, but I don't feel comfortable on them for 3 hours. So we made the switch from air to some Spring Forks and stuff. So got away from the Air Forks, and then they have a link system for the 450s that really helps it out. So then just went to the drawing board from there. Changed some stuff up. Me and Dad worked really hard to get the bike ready, and we got it ready for our local race. And I went out and I had a blast on it. I loved riding it. It's the best I've rode all year at any race. And I got done with the race, and I think the first words after the race was like, I want to race this bike after break.
Right.
And you should have seen his face. He was like, oh, man, what are you doing to me? But it was good. And, he's like, okay, you sure you want to do this and stuff? So we did it. And then we came back to the drawing board here at the house and changed some few things. Like I said, the biggest thing is probably the Air Forks to the Spring Forks, and then the PR2 linkage and stuff. And just went from there, and then got the bike built, and bike looks sick. So
you look good, you feel good, right? That's a good start.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. And I a couple weeks ago I went to shake down the 6 days 450, and it reminded me that I really wanted to ride the 450, and so we got the GNCC bike ready and built, and I went and shook it down, and I fell in love. I felt so comfortable on the bike, and just really nothing really major. Just I don't know, you feel good, you feel comfortable, you're gonna go good. So it was good. It was a lot of work for me and him to switch everything out because, mostly we had all 250 stuff because I thought that was the majority of what I was going to ride.
Right.
But, the sponsors stepped up and then sent the stuff that I needed, and it was good. And look where it got me at Unadilla. I can't complain. And
right, for sure.
I just wish I wouldn't have had the problems I had off the beginning of the start. But, it's racing, and, I was able to come back and get second overall anyways.
Yeah, and that's a good way to transition into this because we've said already, you've done really good. You did really good at Unadilla coming back from the spring break, but we didn't really talk about how it looked like it was going to be a horrible race because, and correct me if I'm wrong, but this would have been you and Josh Strang either got together or it just kind of that's where you had a crash was in the opening lap with him somewhere?
Yeah, we're two pro racers. We're going for the same line. Neither of us are going to back off, and it's nobody's fault. I was on the outside, if anything, so, I'm the one that should have backed off, and, we kind of hit. And I think it ended up bending his brake pedal a little bit, and then ended up bending my shifter. And then I think I was stuck in third gear for like 6 miles, I think. And it's funny because I came through the barrels, and my dad was standing after the barrels, and I gave him like the motion, I think I was 12, maybe. I don't know. I was way back. And threw his hands up and was like, "Oh man, what now? Like, what did you tear up?" So I came in and I hurry up and told him the shifter was bent. So luckily, 2 miles after that was we went through the pits, so he was ready to bend it back out and everything. So, I probably only lost probably 15 seconds bending it back out, but luckily they were ready and stuff. And after that, I just told myself, let's see how far I can get up and have fun doing it. And I never would have dreamed I got up second overall. Just
Right.
kind of, I was just riding my own race. I mean, and the 450 was working awesome, and it was good. I just everything clicked that day, and never really had a major big mistake all day. And the lappers were crazy, and luckily enough, they were all pretty good about getting out of the way and stuff. And before I know it, I was picking guys off left and right, and then I could see, came out on the moto track, and I could see the lead pack. I think it was like Strang, DeLong, Bach, and stuff. And I came to the barrels, and I was fifth, and I could see them guys. I'm like, okay, so there's fourth, second, third, everybody. And then, by that time, Caleb was already pretty much gone. So just put my head down and charged, and luckily I got into second and was riding my own race and was able to break away from them guys. And then I thought I had second pretty much on lock. Kind of started checking away, and then the last 2 laps, Strang put in a little charge, so I had to pick it back up, and was able to keep a good gap between me and him the whole last 2 laps. And man, I couldn't have been more thrilled with second overall after the year I've been having and all the bad luck and stuff. So it's good. Just I need to carry it over in Somerset and walk out of there with top 5, top 3, hopefully a win. At this point in the year, I want to win really bad, but I'm not going to go out and try to kill myself just for that win. If I'm second or third, that's fine and stuff. So it's hard over my head to try to get the lead and stuff. So other than that, it was a good race. I had a decent start. Like I said, the 450 worked amazing, and I'm glad I picked it to ride there because it was really slick. And I don't think with the 250 it wouldn't have been as good because it would have been higher RPMs. It would have been spinning a lot more, and with the 450. Yeah, I call it Big Fat Betty. I mean, you could be lazy on the thing. And I was running like third and fourth gear all day, and it was nice to be able to shift up and lug the thing and get traction all day.
So have you already shipped your ISDE bike? Or are you kind of still working on that? What's going on there?
Actually, just finished up the bike today. Actually, believe it or not, we got the final touches done today, so. Now it's we got the bike together. Now we got to tear it back down apart to be crated. It actually gets shipped out. Well, actually, I take it up to the container this Friday, so be done with that. Be a heck of a lot stress relief for sure. Won't be so stressful. Then I'll be able to concentrate a little bit more on GNCCs once I get that bike out of here and stuff. But man, it's been awesome. Some of the sponsors have really stepped up this year with 6 days and helping me get that bike ready. And man, it's looks so good. It's awesome. It's definitely some eye candy on that bike, and I'm excited to get over there and race and give it all I got.
Well, what have you heard about Argentina? I don't know if you've had much chance to talk with like Taylor Roberts or Taylor Robert and some of those guys that are going to be going over there with you on their thoughts of what Argentina is going to be like.
Yeah, they say it's a lot like actually out in Arizona at Taylor's house. That's what they say. It's pretty similar to like Arizona terrain. Kind of rocky, real open area. So I guess I'll just have to see. They say it's a lot like Italy last year. So if it is, I'm really excited. It's fun to get into the rocks and stuff, a little technical, funner stuff. So if it's like what everybody says it's going to be like, it should be enjoyable. It's fun. I think the team we got this year is really stacked, and I think it's hopefully the best chance we've had in a long time. And I think every one of us is going to be doing it for Kurt. So it's cool to go over there and give it our all for him.
Nice, man. Yeah, I'm really excited. I was really hoping to be able to make it down to Argentina this year, but unfortunately that's not going to be the case. I'm going to be doing the Baja Rally, which starts in 2 weeks down in Baja, and they just released the map, and it looks like I'm going to be riding over 1,000 miles in 4 days. My ass or my thighs or something is going to be so damn sore. Oh, God.
Yeah, you're gonna need that. You're gonna need some monkey butt powder,
dude. It's like I don't know if they make like a chamois butter that's good enough for this, because it is gonna be insane, man.
Yeah, I heard. You know what the secret is to not having a chapped butt?
Don't sit down.
Nair.
Nair.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. You nair it before you go.
That is like something I don't want to test. Like right now.
I didn't either. I didn't do it, but everybody was like, "Oh, do you need to nair it?" And I'm like, I ain't doing that. But
you're like, man, that's a chemical, dude. It's burning the hair off of your bum. You're like, you really want to put that all up in there?
I don't know. That's what I've been told to do it before I go. So I was just letting you know.
Well, I'm not going to do it before I go because I don't want to do it and like burn my butthole and like then not be able to sit down at all.
Oh, man.
That needed to be tested like a month ago. You know what I'm saying? Not like 2 weeks before. Well, I like that. I mean, these are some of the secrets that you get on Seat Time, you know?
Yeah.
So it's pretty intense. What do you even think about Grant Baylor? That dude has had a pretty successful year, got a national enduro win under his belt, almost really gotten an overall win, from the XC2 line. At the national enduro, has been riding a 450, and he says it's because he's practicing and getting ready for XC1 next year at the GNCCs. I mean, that dude's kicking ass.
Yeah, I mean, he's been riding good. He's been impressing me, and even at Unadilla, he was beating me in strength for most of the day, and then I think we were able to pull away a little bit at the end. But I think Strang ended up only beating it by like 3 seconds for third overall. That's just crazy. The kid's definitely got some good talent. Both him and his brother do, and I think Grant's picking up on it pretty good, and he's been ripping on the 450 of the enduros, which is pretty impressive riding such a big bike in such tight stuff. So, I think he's got a good chance of really stepping out and being a good rider the next couple of years. And I think he might have what it takes to be one of the top contenders in the XC1 class.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I mean, who's the last person? I mean, how tough is it making that switch? There's so many people. Caleb Russell was one of them. You were probably one of them for a little while there. Like, it's like, it's a great XC2 riders that have done a lot of winning in the XC2 class, a lot of XC2 championships, and expected to do so well in the XC1 class. How hard is it to try to come out and win that your rookie year?
People don't understand how hard it is. It's like a whole new level. Like with me, I struggled for a couple years, and then, then came Caleb. And, he struggled for the first year and a half before he actually did pretty well. Before he had, before he won, it was like a year and a half. And then you got Stu. I mean, Stu's struggle. I mean, he's still kind of struggling, but he's starting to put it together. And, I don't think people realize how big of a step it really is from the XC2 to XC1. XC2, it's just weird. It's like a whole nother world. Them guys are... When you're in XC2, you got the XC1 guys in front of you, and you always have a challenge of catching them guys and picking them guys off. And then the XC2 or XC1 guys, you're the big dog, and you're the first ones on the track, and you're kind of beating in the track a little bit. So I don't think people really realize how big of a step it really is. But maybe one day somebody will step up and be that guy who can come out and win races, the first couple races out of the XC2 fresh.
That dominant force, if you will.
Yeah.
So we haven't had too many XC1 two-time champions, especially I'd say Americans. We've had Juha Solomon, and then David Knight did it. It looks like Caleb Russell's going to do it two times in a row. That's pretty impressive. Is there another American that you could think of that's done that within the GNCCs?
I really don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, that's damn impressive. And now his overall wins, he's now, I think, he's about to break into the top 5. All time.
Yeah, isn't his dad in the top 5 too?
I know Scott Plessinger, Aaron Plessinger's dad is, but I'm not sure
Jeff.
I'm not sure if Jeff Russell is. But so somebody in the chat room keeps talking about funnels and girls. Does that mean anything to you? Is this like somebody just messing with me?
Funnels and girls?
Yeah.
I mean, I I mean, maybe the girls part, but not the funnels.
All right, I had to ask because it kept coming up, and I'm like, I don't. Maybe this is like somebody that knows that it's an inside joke or something, but so maybe not. Whatever. We'll see.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
All right.
I'm sure it's probably something.
Yeah, so let's move west a little bit and talk about what's been going on over there. You're going to be going to Argentina, so apparently it's going to be like the West Coast, like we've talked about. Taylor Roberts' house out there. Ricky Brabeck got the win out at the ranch for the West Coast Hare Scrambles, the Big Six Grand Prix that was out there. Timmy Wagan in second and Jacob Argybright in third, but that was Jacob Argybright's championship. So with that, Husqvarna, their first year out there with an off-road team, really, being back, if you will. With one championship there, and then they've got a chance with Andrew DeLong there at the National Enduros next weekend to wrap up that. But, this is pretty cool stuff, wouldn't you say, to see Husky coming out and kind of kicking butt like they have been?
Yeah, that's cool for a company to come out and get. They have one championship, and most likely they're going to have two championships. So that's pretty cool. That's a good brand. I think that brand's really going to grow in the future, and we'll see how it goes in the next couple years for that company, which, I think it's going to go really, really well for them. And, Andrew's really proved that the Huskies are good bikes, and, they're not much different from a KTM. I think they pretty much are, other than a few things. And, that's a cool that them two brands came together and made another impressive bike.
Yeah. One of the things I think is interesting is how we're going to see that brand develop, because obviously when they first came out, it was a KTM, with some of the Husaberg specials, kind of thrown in there, and that kind of that became the Husky. And then, but they say they're going to be making a lot of changes, and we'll see them specifically for 2016. It'll be just cool to see how it develops. One of the things that really surprised me, and one of the things that we talked to Andrew DeLong about early in the year, was the team. Now, we knew the bikes would be pretty good because it was essentially a KTM. KTMs were good bikes. Everybody was riding them. They were doing a good job. But the team organization, you've helped put a team together. You know how hard it is to grow as a team. I think that's the part that really surprised me, is how well, that they've actually started to get themselves together in their first year, and how organized they are.
Yeah, for sure. I think Ani did a good job putting that team together with all the leaders and stuff, and Joey Maurer, their head, Andrew's head mechanic. He's a good dude, and I think he definitely has what it takes to be a good leader for that team. And it's cool that they've actually came out and did what they did, and winning championships right their first year. You don't really see that in a brand that's come out. There's been brands that try to step up and then they just kind of fizzled out. But I think that Husqvarna has a good backing behind them, and I definitely think they're going to grow in the future for sure.
Yeah, one of the super interesting developments from the past weekend at the ranch, if you will, in Anza, California, is apparently the racers started not showing up. Like, everybody did like a handful of laps, and all of a sudden they realized that the racetrack, it got really quiet and that nobody was coming around. They were like, what's going on? So apparently some landowners started blocking the trail with ribbon and trucks and stuff like that, so stopping the racers as the race is in action. And apparently somebody within the organization had gotten the okay from like one of the families that owned the land, but another one of the families wasn't okay with it, and by the end of the afternoon they were like, hey, let's just cancel this shit because we're tired of it or whatever. And they were like,
I just seen that.
They're like, how much would it cost? It would cost $20,000 for them. So they were like, we want $20,000 for you to continue the race. They were like, nope. They turned around and like, let's reroute. So they just rerouted really quick, and I think under an hour they just restarted the race in the new, restarted the race in the staggered format that they were in, kind of when they had to finish the race or when they had to kind of red flag it. And how nuts is that? Has that ever? I mean, would you ever even think of that happening in the middle of the race?
No, that's crazy. I just read about that a little bit ago, actually. That's wild. I don't think I've ever been in a race and had that happen before. But that's just wild. Funny story though. I did have a gun pointed to my head one time.
What? Okay, continue the story.
It was probably I think 2007. A group of us were riding at a local moto track, and where they have woods there, and we were riding the woods, and I guess this drunk guy thought we were on his property and had guns pointed at us, and it was pretty wild. I think there was like a group of 10 of us, and we popped up over the hill and seen the dude had guns pointed at us and stuff, and I think we all about crapped ourselves. But
Yeah. Time for some new
I don't know.
shorts.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. There was some words exchanged, and then finally we got the guy talked down a little bit and was able to get out of there, and ended up finding out the dude was drunk, and it wasn't even his property. We were on the right property, but he had one too many beers.
That's a lot too many beers. That's an
Yeah.
interesting dynamic to take over, if you will. I don't
Yeah.
know. Well, so I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen at the National Endurance this weekend. So we were kind of talking a little bit about Argybright and Husqvarna. So Andrew DeLong, who's done really well this year, XC1 class, his first kind of chance racing there. His best so far is a third in the XC1 class, which he got at Snowshoe. Do you think he's got more in the tank? Like, if he were to win this National Enduro title? It sounded like he kind of made some safety decisions this past weekend.
Yeah.
When he was in third and kind of worked, kind of fell back on purpose to stay safe, if you will, for the National Enduro. Do you think that we would see him back on the podium at some of the other GNCCs this year?
I think he's definitely got the National Enduro Championship in his mind right now. A championship is a championship, and National Enduros are a pretty big series, and they're very well known. And to get a championship in it, I think that'd be pretty cool. And I think he was definitely thinking that this past weekend, and he did have a pretty bad wreck, and I think that after that he kind of settled down a little bit. And if I was him, I would have done the same thing. And looking at the bigger picture of getting Husqvarna their first championship in National Enduros, and I think once that settles down, and if he does, I think he'll bounce back at Somerset. He rides the rocks really well, and that's what he grew up riding and stuff. So I definitely think he could be a top contender at Somerset, if and when he wraps the championship up this weekend at the National Enduro.
Oh, man, that'd be so cool. Let's see. It's the Mud Daubers. That's Indiana, right? Mud Daubers, Indiana.
Yeah.
Have you ridden that one before? We haven't seen you at the National Enduros this year. You did them last year. Was that kind of a decision off a budget?
Yeah, just kind of off budget a little bit. Really didn't have the budget to travel to all of them, so we just kind of concentrated on local stuff, and like the local National Hare Scramble I did and stuff. But I have done Indiana, and it's probably one of the sickest dirts I've ever rode there. I mean, it's pretty fun, and I think the first year I rode it, I got third overall there, and it was good. That place is pretty fun, so I think you'll definitely see some good racing. And then, I think you might see Grant get another overall. He's been riding good, and I think he's got good momentum coming off of, the TKO and the last National Enduro win, and then that awesome ride he put in at Unadilla. So I think the momentum's definitely in his hand. But, I think what's Andrew got to get, like 5th or better?
I think he only has to get 12th or better.
12th or better? Okay,
cool
so
for him to see. He has to finish in the top 12th to get the championship. Top 12.
Okay.
So I mean,
so.
it's kind of like he really just has to go out and ride a handful of a decent race. To get it. Now I don't think he'll go out there and do that. I think he's going to go out there and pin it to win it. But and that's pretty cool that he's got that good of a gap over Jesse Grum.
Yeah. So yeah, that's good for Andrew. Andrew, he's a hard worker and stuff, and we went to 6 days together in Germany on the trophy or the junior trophy team, and I didn't really know Andrew really that well. We became pretty good friends over there, and it's cool for him to be able to win that championship, and I'm pumped for him.
Heck yeah, man. Well, cool. Well, Thad, we really appreciate you coming on the show and spending some time with us. I'm really sorry that things kind of went south and we had to kind of like put things on hold, if you will. But again, I really appreciate you being courteous enough to hang around while we got it sorted on our end. So, dude, any thoughts about 2015? Does that stuff start for you guys yet?
I already told you off camera.
I know, but this is on camera, so you got to say something for the people that you can say it to.
I did get a call today, so hopefully maybe this will pan out. But just kind of playing it by ear right now. Hopefully everything turns out good. I feel like I've worked really hard this summer, and I'm ready to prove it the last couple races and show people that I'm ready to win races and win championships and stuff. So hopefully be able to put in some good rides and get some more phone calls and have a good ride for next year.
Awesome, dude. Well, cool. Well, we hope you get a good ride as well. You've had great success kind of helping build up this Honda team that you've had going for so many years now, and hopefully either that keeps going, you find something different, but whatever it is, hopefully you get the support that you're looking for to make sure that you feel like you have the bike underneath you that you need to ride to a championship. I think that's kind of, they got to have that whole package. And so however that shapes up for you, we hope you keep working towards it and get it.
I appreciate it, man. So if anything, like I said, I have the worst luck. So being on the show, having difficulties, nothing new to me. So don't worry.
See, that's what happens when you get Bad Thad on the show. He just fucks the internet up, man. Screwing it up. I dig it, man. Well, thank you very much. Do you have a website or any fun tidbits where people can find you or follow you?
Yeah, just I got both Instagram and Twitter, just at Thaddy989, and then I got a Facebook, just Thad Duvall. So make sure you follow me on Twitter and Instagram. I upload a lot of stuff and keep up with my life, and it's fun. I'm trying to live the dream. So here we go.
Dig it, man. Well, thank you very much for coming on the show, and we will talk with you soon. Good luck in 2 weeks, my man, at the CarMate non-gusher.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Don't get gushed. Later, dude.
Later.
Awesome, man. Well, we didn't get a chance to hear from our buddy Scotty, and just because of the fact that this show is live, that's just what's happening, man. So we're going to see if we could catch up with him a little bit later this week, maybe put a piece together for you guys and put it out there on the internet. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We didn't get a big chance to give shout-outs to our sponsors, but I really need to make sure these people get good presence here and get a chance to be mentioned in front of you guys, because they are not just fantastic partners and sponsors of Seat Times, but of our sport. And that is a reason why you should support them. If you're looking for gear, flyracing.com. You want to go see what they have to offer. Their 2015 line looks amazing. I can only imagine how good it feels. I have not had a chance to get my hands on any of it yet. But what you want to do is you want to go there, check it out, and then go to your dealer and you want to buy it. Check it out. And that's the way that you support Seat Time and support Fly Racing for supporting Seat Time. We would love that. Stillwell Performance, stillwellperformance.com. So you go there, check them out. They are going to make your suspension the best it can be for the ride that you want to have. So you're on a dirt bike, you're on a KTM, you're on a 4CS, you're on a Beta, you're on whatever bike you're on. There's a good chance that your suspension is not the best that it could be for you to have the best ride that you want to have. Go check out the guys at Stillwell Performance. All I ask, go to their website, either email them or get their phone number and give them a call and just tell them, hey, I was listening to Seat Time. They said that I should chat with you about my suspension. Yes, you should. And they're going to tell you why they can give you the best ride for your bike with the suspension that you have. KR4 with their Arrive and Ride program. For those of you who do not know, you can rent a bike. And they had a big sign this past weekend, we rent bikes. It was pretty interesting. So with that, it's like, oh, we could rent a bike. Or what's even better is you can go to these events and you can race an entire GNCC series or entire National Enduro series right there with this program. They'll get your bike at the beginning of the year. They will prep it. They will get your gear clean for you, make sure that everything's fixed and ready to go. This is the best way to do it. I personally will be all up over the renting the bike option. It looks like that the Denver Endurocross live broadcast is not going to happen, and so I'm going to see, does that mean that Indiana Ironman's not going to happen during that weekend? Because if that's the case, then I would love to go rent a KR4 300 again and take on Ironman and see if I can get my hands to at least last the entire race this time. If I just did 1,000 miles in Baja, I should be able to finish the GNCC. Gosh darn it. So those are our fantastic sponsors. We love the fact that they support the show. It looks like Scotty may be coming on, may not be coming on. Is he online? Is he not online? Is he online? Is he not online? Steven? I think he's typing. I should talk about something. I don't really know. I'm kind of at that point. Like I was saying, stand up and getting... Oh, So yeah, okay. So we were getting stuff in the chat room about stand up, and I'm like, stand up. I was like, do people want to see my pants? I was like, what's the deal? It's like, you guys know I don't wear pants on seat time, so I don't know. Stand up in the fact of like, don't get ass chapped. So stand up more. I get it now. I get it. Yeah. That's what Kirk Caselli told me too. One day I was like taking pictures of my. I think I had some chamois butter that I was packing. Oh, it was Big Sky cross country last year, and I took a picture of my chamois butter, and it was this big tub, and I was like, I'm so ready to go. And he was like, dude, you don't need that. Just stand up. I was like, oh, that's pathetic advice that he did that to me. So it's just the way it happens. So if you guys who don't know, the reason why we're trying to get Scotty Broman on, the Baja Rally starts in 2 weeks, and this is going to be one hell of an adventure. They did it last year. Things went really good. It was a lot of fun for all these people. I'm going to be racing it, and I'm trying not to get my ass kicked in it. And Steven, right now, I'm just like talking for no other reason. So let's kill it. We're going to make shit happen later in this week, and we'll get sure that we get all the information from Scotty to give you guys the show. So this has been Seat Time, episode 141. It's been an awesome time having Thad Duvall on. Thank you for sitting through all of the issues that we had. And, of course, we'll see you next week. Always enjoy a pint full of awesome. Peace.